folks, it's Peter here, aka Peter Freakout 10, baby! Bitches, hoes, freaks, geeks, whatever you are, it's your boy Peter here, and it's time for another update! Hell yeah, boys and girls, how y'all doing today? Haven't done an update this whole summer because I've been very busy. Gotta love what I was looking for, though. And first off, I just want to say, I just posted a review that I did few days ago. This is for the Indiana Jones trilogy I reviewed. Be sure to check that out. I'm working on the next couple reviews right now. This one in particular, this is going to be the final Rockstar game review that I've wanted to do for a while before I review GTA 4. And I'm also working on the review of You Don't Mess with the Zohan. So those will be coming soon. But yeah, got a big update from this summer. Been wanting to do this for the longest time. I just haven't had the time to. But now, finally going to get to it. Finally going to show off what I've gotten this summer. Because boy, did I get a lot. Lots of games, lots of books that I've gotten. I gotten like a few Game Informers, couple strategy guides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 games that I've been playing this summer. I haven't beaten them because I want to show them off. 2 VHS tapes, 4 Blu-rays, and 20 DVDs. But yeah, we'll get into them right now, starting with what I've got right here. So also, if you guys have not seen the Indiana Jones review before we actually get started, be sure to check that out. I'll put it in the link in the description below. If you guys notice, I'm stuffy. I'm a little bit sick. I don't know how I caught that this summer, so please be aware of that. But starting off, I got some Game Informer issues right here. So starting off, we got issue 180. This is the one with Alpha Protocol on it. Looks like a very cool game. Can't wait to give this a play. I know it's by Obsidian, the people who did, what's that game? Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, so this should be very good. This has exclusive look at Guitar Hero Aerosmith and Rainbow Six Vegas 2. So, yeah, definitely going to give that a play. Okay. And next one is issue 181 with Gears of War 2 on the cover. That's one I'm really looking forward to. I really got to go back and I got to play the first one because the first one's so great. I'm playing that along with Resistance Fall of Man that I'm working on a review for. So you guys will see my thoughts on those two right before I get into the sequels this holiday. So yeah, that is the first look of it. And then right here is Guitar Hero 4. Enough said about that. And it also has a look at The Prince of Persia and Resident Evil 5. And issue 183 with Infamous on the cover. This is one that I'm honestly interested in. It's by Sucker Punch, the same people who did Sly Cooper, which you guys know I love and I adore. I talked that series to high heaven. But this is Infamous right here. Can't wait to give that one a play. Also has a review for Metal Gear Solid 4, so we'll see how that is. A few of these I have not written yet, but I'll get to them soon enough. This one right here is one that I'm honestly really pumped for. I saw the trailer for it. It looks like had a very cool trailer for it, so I can't wait to play this game. I've gotten into this series since I was a kid. Wolfenstein. This one looks very cool. I like the design of BJ in this one. This also has a look at Marvel, Ultimate Alliance 2 Fusion, and Rock Band 2, so I'll look at that. And here is one that took me by surprise. I did not think I was going to think about getting this game until I read this. Batman Arkham Asylum. Until I saw this cover, I should say. This cover is so badass. I'm going to read this thing a little later so I can read up on the game because this game, it sounds awesome. So yeah, you'll definitely see my thoughts on it later. And just the cover to this is very cool too. I love just how it opens. It's a very well-designed article on the game. I think it's very unique looking. Like, look at that. I think that's very cool. And I think they're getting back Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill to do the voices, so that should be very cool. Can't wait to look into that. And then moving on to the two strategy guides I got. These are a couple games I've been playing recently. The first one being for a game that I reviewed the remake for it. I wanted to go back and play the original game, so I got the strategy guide because I remember these games being hard as shit. But they're some of my favorite shooters. I love these games, and I'm going to review them when I beat them. And that is Turok the Dinosaur Hunter. This has the complete guide with 65 maps, every level, every secret area, every bonus level. Well, this also has cheats and everything, so very cool there. Turok's awesome, though. And, of course, needed Turok 2, got it with that. Turok 2 is the best of the series, but as I said in that review, but Turok Evolution is my second favorite. I like the linearity of that one, but I like the weapons there, too. But this one has some of my favorite parts in it. I love... And I know there's a guy on here named Dynamite who absolutely loves Evolution. I can understand why. That's almost my favorite, but I think this one has a lot to enjoy too. I know the one problem that he has with it that I do agree with him on is how the levels are too maze-like. That's something that annoys me too about this game. That's why I bought the guide. But yeah, definitely one that I really, really enjoy. Definitely great to have that. And now on to the games. And the first one I got is a classic on the N64 that I'm going to get back into playing. This is one of the best shooters ever made. It came out the same time as Doom and Turok, and it's in a league of its own. It's Quake. What more can be said about Quake? You're fighting demons and everything. It's in the same league of classic as Doom. If you have not played Quake, definitely pick it up. I'll review that when I beat it. And moving on to the other games that I got. Here's one that I picked up at a win. I know this is the black sheep of this series. I know there's people who do not like this one because of the turn it took. It went for more of an M rating, and it was very different from the other ones. And I'm going to play the original, then get into this one. But this one actually looks pretty cool. I like the dark feel of this one. I like what it went for. And just all around seemed like a fun game. Looked very bloody, and that is Prince of Persia, The Warrior Within. It's basically years past since the original, and basically he's fighting these demon creatures now, and they look very cool. Very good graphics. It's also on Xbox and GameCube, so if you guys have either console, definitely pick it up. I'll give this one a play when I beat the first one. It definitely looks cool. Very bloody, too, from what I've heard. This is one that I picked up in preparation for the second one. I don't think I'm going to have the time to beat it because the first one, this is so long. I want to do everything. And considering how much I'm playing GTA 4 and trying to get a review done of that, this might take forever. But it looks fun. It definitely looks fun. I may go play it and then play the second one later. But it is Mercenaries, Playground of Destruction. This is the PS2 version. Basically, you're fighting these crazy dudes, and it looks fun. It definitely looks fun, looks very interesting. I'll give that a play. Now on to 3 Acclaim games I got. And if you weren't around in the 90s and the early 2000s and you don't know of Acclaim, you probably nowadays are going to know their history. And one of them I already have, but I wanted the Xbox version because this one has some features that version doesn't have. And that is BMX XXX. I've never hated this game. I'm going to say that right now. I think, yes, it's perverted. Yes, it has a side to it that is mean and tasteless and making fun of things that people would never make fun of today. I know there's people who hate this game, and I know that the controversy that this game generated, and I've heard people say it's one of the worst games ever made. I think it's a fun BMX game. Honestly, it's my favorite BMX game. I like the humor, probably because I like movies like Tomcats, American Pie, and Pineapple Express. It has that side I enjoy. I like the feel of it. It almost, to me, is like a parody of the extreme sports games from around that time. And I think that's why I like it. And I'm not as offended with it as some other people are. It's like if Robot Chicken did a parody of the extreme sports genre. And that's why I think I like BMX XXX. And I like the soundtrack, too, which is also why I got the Xbox version, because this version actually has Date Rape by Sublime. Rest in peace, Bradley. Very sad what happened to him. But this has a few extra songs. I know it's a little bit more censored than the GameCube version, which is the reason I'm keeping that one. But I got the Xbox version because this one has some cool features in it, like the music. But yeah, that's BMX Triple X. And the next one I got, speaking of Turok, I also picked up this one. I'm trading in my GameCube version of this. This is my second favorite Turok, as I said. Evolution. I will never understand why this game gets so much hate. I can understand in certain areas, because as I said in my review, there's a long story about this game, how Acclaim was going down under, they rushed the game to meet a deadline. I know some of the people involved with this game are not happy with what it came to be, because Acclaim made a lot of fucking stupid decisions. I know there's that whole stupid advertising controversy that they went through with the whole name your baby Turok, even though they were going under financial trouble, and pretty much they were throwing money at the advertisers and they were losing money for that. And I think even they were offering money to anybody who would name their baby Turok, which is why they lost so much money. But it's a fun game. I don't get it. Yes, it's linear. I know somebody I work with said, like, they took Turok and turned it into a modern military shooter. I'm like, aren't you the same people who were complaining about Turok 2, how it's so maze-like? And honestly, I never had a problem with the slugs in this game. I thought they're very cool design. I like the dinosaurs. And as I said, I think this is the bloodiest Turok of them all. And I like the weapons in this. I like the origin of Talsad. And I like that dude Tarkeen. It's a fun fucking game. I never understood the hate this one gets. If you have not played it, give it a chance and don't listen to them. And I know there's so much you can find on this game. I know there's a guy on here named Dynamite online who has pretty much an encyclopedia of all the things Turok Evolution related, about what went wrong during the making of this game and what was cut. And I think that's what makes people a little depressed at this game and what it could have been. But it's a goddamn fun game, and I don't get the hate. Especially, I even like the levels in this. I know this is turning into a review, but I'm going to play it soon. I'll give my thoughts. I'm just giving my quick thoughts. I like the level in the city, the flying city that you have to destroy. I like the night level where you have to sneak into the Slag Fortress. It's just it's a fun game, and I think it offers so much more to me than the newer Turok, where it was just Call it Turok, as I called it. But yeah, I really like this game, and I don't get the hate that it gets. Definitely check it out. I'll give a review on it when I play it again and beat it. I picked it up for the Xbox, as I've heard the Xbox version superior. And the last Acclaim game that I got, this is one that is another reason controversy went crazy for this one. Gladiator Sword of Vengeance. Because I know that there was an incident with this one. They were like, this is the bloodiest game ever. We're going to paint the streets red or something. Like, because they literally had like red paint in the street, and they would flood into the UK area, and they have to pay for damages. It's crazy. There's a lot of crazy shit with Acclaim's advertising spiels that they would go on, which I think if anybody did this today, there would be outcry, and I think they would be lynched if they did any of that shit. But Gladiator Sword of Vengeance, this is one that's a little bit like God of War. It's basically this guy, he's fighting this Colosseum that betrayed him. And you have Sean Pertwee actually doing the voice of the main guy. I could be wrong, but yeah, it looks fun. It definitely lives up to its bloody feel that they say the game has. And it definitely is a game that looks like it could be fun. So yeah, that's Gladiator Sword of Vengeance, and I'll review that when I beat it. And here's a game that I figured I'd pick up. I've heard some good and some bad about this game. I know this was trying around the time to be like the next Halo, but didn't reach that level. But it could be fun for what it is, and that is Pariah. This is a first-person shooter where basically you're in the future and you have to survive. You're killing all these guys. It looks fun. Definitely looks fun. Very interesting idea. Has some good multiplayer to it. So yeah, I'll give this a play when I get around to it. And that's the original Xbox games and PS2 games, and now on to the 360 and the PS3 games I've gotten. And the first one that I actually got is one for a movie that I actually plan on reviewing soon. And this game actually looks very cool because I like the other game that they did, and that is The Incredible Hulk. It's a little bit like The Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction. It has that same open world feel. So if you liked that, you're definitely going to like this one. I'll give this a play. From what I've played of it, it's actually fun. It controls well in its own way from the other one. So I'll see how this is when I play the rest of it. I'll give my thoughts on it because I want to talk about the movie. The movie I'm excited to review because I have a lot to say about that. But continuing on with the games that I picked up this year, of course, these two have got to be on the list. These two I got to pick up, make them a yearly occurrence. NCAA Football 09, got to play this sometime. I like these games. And Madden 09, of course. Not much to say there. They're football games, but you know what? They're fun for what they are. This one, though, I picked up because this one seemed interesting. What I will say about Madden 09 is the fact that they added this new system to it where you can go and pretty much level up and everything. There's a virtual center training. That's interesting. I'll be interested in seeing how that is. But this one I picked up because I thought this sounded interesting. I like the idea of it. It actually came with the soundtrack. Alone in the Dark. I have never played the old ones. The only thing I know of Alone in the Dark is that crappy Uwe Boll movie. Fuck that movie. I ranted on it long ago. This is the game. And apparently there was supposed to be a DLC where you could play as Christian Slater or in his skin and everything. I don't know if that's still coming, but that's... I don't think he wants to be remembered for the fact that he was part of Alone in the Dark, but I'm going to give this game a play. I played it a little bit. It's fun. It has its problems, though, and I'll get to those later. And then the next one that I got, I've showed an unboxing of this that I picked up, and that is Battlefield Bad Company. I've started playing this game, and I'm loving the ever-loving shit out of it. I think this is a fun game. It's really funny. It's a very different alternative to that of Call of Duty 4. It's not serious, doesn't take itself seriously. It's very tongue-in-cheek, but it's a really funny game so far. You play as this guy named Private Preston Marlowe, who's part of this group called Bad Company, and they end up getting involved in this Russian group who have this gold, and they're going after the gold. It's really funny, definitely really funny. It's a lot more realistic than that of COD 4. But it's definitely a fun game, and I like the vehicles in it. The only thing, the multiplayer, as fun as it is, the variety is very, very small. And I wish that there was a little bit more to it. But still, for this gold edition, you get Gold Rush mode, Tactical Destruction, and you get some weapons with this. I even got a poster that is up there. Got that with the game. But yeah, overall, it's a really fun game so far. I'll definitely tell you how it is when I beat it. The version was sold out, so went with this one. And I haven't played it yet. I'm going to start it soon after I get a little farther in GTA 4 because I'm looking on that whole aspect of the game. But this looks fun. Basically, you're this dude in this town called San Valeno, which is like a skate mecca, and you have to go around and find the best spots and basically make it to the top, get these sponsors and everything. It could be fun. It looks fun. I know that the trick system is a lot different than that of Tony Hawk, so that's something, if you're going to buy this game, don't go in expecting Tony Hawk because it's completely different. But that is Skate right there. We'll definitely give that a play soon. And from what looks like a good game to a complete and utter piece of shit, Haze. Let me just get my hat off for a second. Because that's what that game does to me. God, I hate this fucking game. This is one of the worst shooters I've ever played. And I did not think it was going to be as bad as what it is. I have tried to get into this game. Believe me, I've tried. It's boring from what I've played of it so far, because I really want to rant on this game. Play the whole thing and then give it a rant it deserves. It's boring. It's lazy. The idea is interesting. In the first few minutes of the game, start off promising, but then it goes down the tube. It doesn't know what it wants to be. It can't decide if it wants to be a shooter or some sort of political message about how like the soldiers are high on honey and they use stuff and they go crazy and all that. It's so fucking confusing for what I'm playing so far. And the voice acting is deplorable and the shooting feels awkward. It doesn't feel as good as even like Halo 3, COD 4. I dare say it feels about the same as Turok. You don't even feel like you're shooting any of your bad guys. They feel like they go out like BB pellets and there's no weight on the gun. I mean, I cannot believe it's this bad considering Free Radical made this game. They are the people who did Time Splitters Future Perfect, Time Splitters 2. Those are some of my favorite shooters. What happened during this game? How could they let it get this shitty? That's how bad it is. But yeah, I want to beat it first because I want to rant on this game. Maybe it'll get better, but so far this game is complete and utter shit. Even the multiplayer sucks. I'd rather play COD 4 and Halo 3 over those. You better have, but these two are online games I figured I'd get. One is from a series that I love and I've played since the PS2 days, and that is SOCOM Confrontation. What this is you basically take the multiplayer concept of SOCOM and give it its own game. And it looks fun. Definitely looks fun. I didn't get it with the headset because the headset did come with this. What I got, I just got the game. And overall, could be fun. I'm going to start it soon. I like the idea. I do wish that there is some death matches to. I hope that there is death matches to it because they label them weirdly and I forget a lot of them. But overall, could be fun for what it is. But that is SOCOM Confrontation. Not much to say there. The next one I got is Warhawk. This would come with your PS3 if you got it, but I got it separately. But Warhawk, it's a multiplayer game. You go around in jets, you go around in tanks, and you could go on the ground, shoot stuff. It's made by the same people who did Twisted Metal Black, so it has that same sort of combat-esque sort of feel to it. But overall, could be fun. It definitely looks like a fun game to it. So, yeah, those are the games I got. And when we come back, we are going to take a look at the DVDs I got. I'll give it a watch, see how it is, because it could be funny. This is another Owen Wilson film, and it looked like it could have some fun to it. And the trailer that I saw did have me laughing with it, so I figured why not give it a buy, and that is You, Me, and Dupree. Basically, Owen Wilson is the friend of this dude played by I almost said Matt Damon. I meant Matt Dillon, who basically is this guy who basically was friends with him at his wedding, and he's falling on hard times, and he's like, why don't you come stay with me, and we'll get you back on your feet, and he's causing hell for the family. This one could be funny. I've never seen this before. I'll give it a watch soon. The trailer was funny, and I'll give my thoughts on this when I review it. Not really much for features, though. There's just deleted scenes, alternate ending, outtakes, Dupree's memory, which is just the joke book with, like, outrageous photos, funny stories, and commentary by the two directors, Anthony and Joe Russo. This has a good cast, though. As I said, Owen Wilson, Kate Hudson, Matt Dillon from There's Something About Mary, Owen Wilson, who I said from Drillbit Taylor, Wedding Crashers, among many others, Kate Hudson from Fool's Gold, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, among many others. Michael Douglas is in this. No need of an introduction for him from Fatal Attraction, Ghost in the Darkness, among many other films. Great actor. Seth Rogen's in this for a little bit. Amanda Detmere, I don't know how you say her name, Detmere. It could have some fun to it, and I'll give my thoughts on it when I see it. These were two I picked up because these two films I love. It's the Cheaper by the Dozen remake, and of the two Cheaper by the Dozen films, this one is my favorite, and it is this one and its sequel, Cheaper by the Dozen 2. I will say, I think this is one of my favorite comedies. I love this film. I think it's funny. I think it has a good heart to it. directed by Sean Levy, who before this did Big Fat Liar and Just Married. All around is one that is funny. It has a good heart to it. I think there's a lot to like about it. The kids are funny in this one. Steve Martin, always a joy to see. Bonnie Hunt's in this. Hilary Duff, Piper Perabo, Ashton Kutcher's in this, of course, with the whole soaking the underwear and the meat, and he gets it. It's just a funny film. I definitely think it's funny. It has a good heart to it. Tom Welling's in this too. Jared Padalecki's in this for a few minutes as one of the bullies. So, yeah, but I like this film. I've always liked it. And get a bunch of good features too. This edition, the Baker's Dozen edition, actually came about when this one was coming out. I'll get to this one in a little bit. But this edition's basically like, it's just promotional stuff for the second one. It's not really like you're going to be finding much here. It's just going to be a sneak peek at Cheaper by the Dozen 2. They're more or less the features carried over from the old DVD. You get 6 never-before-seen deleted extended scenes, 4 all-new featurettes, storyboard to screen comparison, surprise Easter egg, commentaries, like 2 commentaries, one with the director, the other with the kids, and more deleted extended scenes, director's viewfinder, featurette, extended version. So, yeah, I'll give a review of this one day because I really don't think that film deserves the hate that it got. Then we have the sequel, which is all right. It's not as good as the first, and I'll get into why. And I think that stems from something the director said in the commentary or the making of. He's like, it's like the first one, but on acid. It's like, it didn't need to be that way. Because this is not Sean Levy. This is a guy named Adam Shankman. Same guy did Bringing Down the House with Steve Martin. This time it's a camp out, and they're going to the area for one final trip before they all grow up and everything. It's funny. It's not as funny as the first. It kind of lacks the heart and everything, but it's fun for what it is. It's fun. I still think this one has some funny moments. Good cast still of people like Eugene Levy, Steve Martin comes back, Bonnie Hunt, Tom Welling comes back, Piper Perabo comes back, Hilary Duff comes back. You also have Jamie King who's going to be in the My Bloody Valentine remake, and she was also in Slackers with Devon Sawa. She's in this. And Carmen Electra's in this too as Eugene Levy's wife. Yeah, like that would happen. But yeah, I don't think this film is bad. It's just not as funny as the first. I know Roger Ebert said that he liked this film. I think he's one of the only people who liked it. But it's funny for what it is. But that's Cheaper by the Dozen too. I'll give my thoughts on it deeper when I review it. This is one I can't believe I got. I've been searching for this DVD for a long time because I really, really like this film. And I'm so glad to finally have it. And this is the Anchor Bay edition of it. Freaked. I adore this movie. Those who don't know, Freaked is a film that was directed by Alex Winter and Tom Stern. And Alex Winter, for those who don't know, this is the guy who was Bill and Ted, and basically it's him. He's like this snobby rich guy who basically drives by this freak show and ends up becoming a part of it, and basically gets turned into one of them. It's a really weird film, but I love it. It's so crazy and off the wall. Hell, even John Crispolucci agrees with me. The funniest film in years, which I know I shouldn't say that considering the allegations against him, but again, I still like Ren and Stimpy, but again, they're just allegations, but I don't know if they're true or not, but yeah, the funniest film in years. So yeah, but yeah, I don't know if they're true or not, so I'm not going to say whether he's innocent or not. It's not my place to say that, but that's a rabbit hole I don't want to touch. But he agrees and says it's the funniest film in years. But yeah, 2 discs, one for the movie, one for the features. You even get a cool booklet that gives you some facts on it. But yeah, I remember I saw this on TV when I was younger. I thought it was really cool. Cool. I like the design. Screaming Mad George did some of them. You even have Keanu Reeves in this as this dog character right there. I thought that was very cool to see him and Alex Winter together again. You also have people like Randy Quaid, who was Cousin Eddie in the National Lampoon films, William Sadler from Demon Knight and Tales from the Crypt episodes, Megan Ward from Joe's Apartment, Michael Stonov, Mr. T, the A-Team himself. Brooke Shields is also in this. Bobcat Goldthwait from Hercules is in this. Just a damn awesome cast and a damn good soundtrack. It's definitely great to have this DVD too, because this thing is insane. Because you get the other disc has because the disc for features on both discs, one has an audio commentary with director writers Alex Winter, Tom Stern, Hijinks and Freakland, a conversation with writer Tim Burns, a 2 theatrical trailer, deleted scenes, Freak Dark Gallery, screenplay, which is a DVD-ROM, Freak the rehearsal version. There are no weirdos here, which is basically early script readings of selected scenes. It's the Troll, terrifying footage of the character Stewie the Gluck. Under construction, behind-the-scenes videos showing the construction of Freakland. Behold the Beast Boy, witness Alex Winter's makeup transformation, and 2 short films too. So yeah, there's some good features in that. If you get this DVD, it's worth it too. So if you have not seen Freaked, check it out. It's an awesome film. So I'm gonna be right back again, and we will get through the last of these DVDs, and pretty much because we have a lot to talk about and everything. So yeah, I will be right back and we'll continue on. Remember, I saw on TV a long time ago when Joe Bob Briggs was doing his Monster Vision thing, and this is one of the films that he touched upon, along with Voodoo, which is another one I want to get, with Corey Feldman. And both of those are coming under the Apix Entertainment logo. Now, I've mentioned Apix Entertainment on this channel before, because they're a video distributor that I grew up with. A lot of their films I really enjoy. I love Uncle Sam. I've talked about that film to death. I want to review it sometime in the future. That's a great movie. I love Jack Frost. Jack Frost 2 I thought was okay. It just wasn't as good as the first. I like Drive with Mark Dacascos. That's what I want to get on DVD. Bram Stoker's The Mummy was shit. Ice Cream Man with Clint Howard. So many films under the Apix Entertainment logo. Really sad that they're out of business now. But this is one of their films that they did, and I think it's one of the most underrated slashers of the 90s, and that is The Surgeon. You probably have never heard of it, but this is a film that was actually directed by Carl Schenkel, who's no longer with us. May he rest in peace. And this is one that I found interesting. Basically, it's about this guy who, as a kid, played by Sean Haberly, who watched his brother die at the hands of a surgeon. And he's grown up now, and basically he's in this hospital, and he starts killing off other members of the group or of the doctor's patients that they've had, and they catch him, and pretty much they've caught him before, but he's come back into the hospital trying to get revenge, and you find out he jumped out a window and basically broke his spine, and basically he's back there getting revenge. They catch him, and they send him to a psychiatric ward, but he manages to escape, and basically he goes back to the hospital and pretty much starts killing off the other members there who got him in jail in the first place. And I like this film. It's a really fun slasher. I know that there's words through the grapevine that this wasn't supposed to be a slasher. It was supposed to be more of a psychological thriller. And then when I think Apix got involved, they turned it into a slasher. And pretty much that took a toll on the cast, which is why a lot of people were like, oh, why are we having this slasher? We wanted the psychological film you guys promised we were a part of. And that was what killed it. I don't think it's that bad. I think it deserved a better release than what it got, including a better cover, because the cover really doesn't do this movie justice. It's not a zombie film, and the surgeon doesn't look like that. This is what he looks like on the back. He's just a normal guy. So I think could have been advertised better, but I like it. I like the cast in this. Isabel Glacier's in this. James Remar from 48 Hours and TV show Dexter. He also had a quick role in Pineapple Express in the opening. Sean Herbely's the killer. Peter Boyle's in this. Malcolm McDowell's in this for a little bit from Tank Girl and Rob Zombie's Halloween. If you don't like Malcolm McDowell, he dies. Charles Dance from Alien 3's in here too. And Sweet Brother Nupsy from The Golden Child. It's creative. It's fun. It is bloody. I really enjoyed this film. Didn't deserve to get didn't deserve to get hated. I'll give my thoughts on it when I review it around Halloween. But that's The Surgeon. And the next film that I got, the next VHS tape I got, this is one that really slipped my radar, and I didn't know much about it until now, but I figured why not give it a pickup? I think this looks like an interesting movie. And it's one that is a Killer Scarecrow film, but I actually think it's one of the better Killer Scarecrow films, and that is Night of the Scarecrow, directed by Jeff Burr. Now, Jeff Burr, this is a guy who directed Pumpkinhead 2, which I love. That's the film that introduced me to him. He also did The Stepfather 2, which I know had some interference from Harvey Fat Ass Weinstein and Bob fucking asshole Weinstein. Yeah, those guys are fucking assholes considering what they do with movies. But he also did Puppet Master 4 and 5, among many other sequels. Even Leatherface, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. That's one that I think really people know him for, and they know him more for that because of the studio interference. But this is his first non-sequel, and it's basically this scarecrow that's the soul of this warlock sort of dude that would have orgies back in the day, back in the time he was a part of, and basically this pretty much creeped out the town, and they had him killed and put on a scarecrow, and it's years later, and this girl who's the daughter of this mayor comes back into town, and these kids end up reawakening the scarecrow and starts killing off all the people in the town. It's an interesting movie, I gotta say. It looks interesting. I like the scarecrow himself. I think it's a cool looking scarecrow. This is surprisingly bloody too. It has a good cast with people like Elizabeth Barnos, John Meese, Stephen Root's in this from Office Space and was Bill on King of the Hill, Bruce Glover, Dirk Blocker, and playing the Scarecrow is Howard Swan. So yeah, definitely looks like a fun film. I'll give my thoughts on it when I see it, but that is Night of the Scarecrow. And now on to the Blu-rays. And most of these films I've reviewed. One of them I had upgraded because I really wanted to see this film in Blu-ray, and it comes with some new features on it, and I'll start with that one. But that is a film that I think is one of the best action films of the 90s. It's great to finally have it on Blu-ray, and that is none other than the awesome Con Air. Classic from the 90s, directed by Simon West. Really want to review this movie because it's a great film. It's basically about Nicolas Cage. He's basically this guy who got in a fight back in the day, and that caused him to go to jail because he was in the army. He was trying to protect his girlfriend, and he got sent to jail. Now he's about to get out, but the plane that they're on gets hijacked, and now he has to find a way to get it down. But really cool film, really great. Great cast with Nicolas Cage, John Cusack from Say Anything. John Malkovich is in this too. Steve Buscemi, Ving Rhames. You have a young Dave Chappelle in this. Michael T. Williamson, who was Bubba Gump in Forrest Gump. Monica Potter from Saw is in this, and she's also going to be in the Last House on the Left remake. Rachel Ticoighton, just all around looks like a great fun movie, and definitely some good features too. You get backstage, a view from above, the destruction of Las Vegas, a 2 theatrical trailer, and there's a movie showcase. All around, just great to have this on Blu-ray, and I definitely can't wait to watch it and give my thoughts on it. Now, these three are films that I've already reviewed, but just wanted to get them on Blu-ray because these films I really love. They are some of my favorites I saw this year. And the first one is none other than one that I think is my favorite Owen Wilson film. I have another one in here that that a friend of mine says is his favorite, and his father loves it too. I'll give that a watch and see how it is because I want to get some other films reviewed first, but this is one that I think is my favorite because it's really smart and really has a good tone to it, has a good heart to it, and it's just all around really funny. And considering what it was supposed to be, figured why not get, and that is Drill Bit Taylor. I've already reviewed this film, I've already given my thoughts on it, and this is the extended survival edition, so you're going to get some extra scenes in this. I think this film is funny. It didn't deserve to bomb. I know that this was coming off of Owen Wilson's attempted suicide because he was going through a lot of stress, and that kind of hurt the film's chances. But it's a funny film, and I think it's I think Stephen Brill does a great job directing it. I think the kids were likable. I know David Dorfman annoyed the shit out of me, but for what he had to do, he does fine. Owen Wilson, I think, is a lot of fun. Danny McBride has some good jokes in it. Leslie Mann, I'll say, this is her at her hottest, I'll say. But yeah, it's a funny movie. And in terms of features, this has a commentary by Stephen Brill, Christopher Brown, Troy Gentile, Nate Hartley, David Dorfman. You also hear some stuff from the writers, Christopher Brown and Seth Rogen. There's deleted scenes and extended scenes. There's Linorama, there's a gag reel, and this Blu-ray actually has exclusive features like an extended version of the movie, a wrap-off, Sprinkler Day, and Bully, and Directing Kids, and the real Dawn, Danny McBride. So definitely definitely a great edition of the film to have. So yeah, that's Drill Bit Taylor, the extended survival edition. So yeah, if you guys want to hear my thoughts on it, definitely check out my review I did back in April for that. Here's another one that I saw back in February, and I've already reviewed this film. And I can't believe the amount of hate that this film gets, because it doesn't deserve it. It is Jumper, directed by Troy Gentile. I've given my thoughts on this film. I really loved this one. I don't think it's as bad as everybody made it out to be. I don't think it deserves the low rating it got on Rotten Tomatoes. It's getting a sequel, too, so yeah. But I like it. I really do. Even though Hayden Christensen's not the best actor, I think he does fine for what he's given. He's basically this kid who basically was born with this ability to teleport to places, and he's basically being trailed by this dude played by Samuel Jackson, and all around it's just a really, really fun film. Great action. I like the cast of Hayden Christensen, Jamie Bell, Rachel Bilson, Michael Rooker's in this too. You even have Diane Lane in this, Anna Sophia Robb, Max Theriot, and just all around it's a fun film and didn't deserve the hate that it got. Because I think it's definitely a fun ride and definitely was one that I had a great time seeing with my dad. But yeah, Bill's wondering, this is a Blu-ray. It's a special edition. You get an audio commentary by director Doug Liman, writer-producer Simon Kinberg, and producer Lucas Foster. Picture-in-picture, Jumping Around the World, Doug Liman's Jumper, uncensored documentary, Making an Actor, Jump featurette, Jumping from Novel to Film, The Past, Present, Future Jumper featurette, Jumpstart, David Stories, animated graphic novel, deleted scenes, and future concepts. So, yeah, you're getting a lot on this DVD, and definitely great to see. But I really, really enjoyed this film, and I really look forward to see what the sequels have. But nowhere near as bad as everybody made it out to be. So, yeah, that's Jumper. And last Blu-ray that I got, this is another one that I've reviewed already. And I love this one. I can't believe this got so much hate. It didn't deserve it. This and another film that Will Ferrell did that I saw recently, I think are two of his funniest films. The other one being Step Brothers. I think those are a couple films that are my favorite films that I've watched this year. But this one, I think is funny in its own way, and that's why I'm going to put him on the same number, because he hit it for me twice this year with these films. I think This one in particular has a lot of fun with itself. I like the cast in this. I like the setting. I thought it was a different idea for a basketball film, and it is none other than Semi-Pro. This is the Blu-ray of 2-disc unrated Let's Get Sweaty edition, because if you guys have seen my review, you would know that Let's Get Sweaty is what he always says. Talking rainforest sweaty, little bathtubs full of sweat. But yeah, I love this one. He's basically this coach that wants to get his team to the ABA, and basically he ends up going through all this shit to get there. And it's funny as fuck. I can't believe people didn't like it. I know Cool Duder himself and MJ were even like, at first it was alright, but then they said it was crap. It's not that bad of a film. I actually think it's one of Will Ferrell's funniest films. I definitely think it's in the top 3. Old School's my favorite. My second favorite would be Step Brothers, and my third favorite would be this one. I know that's changed because I said Talladega Nights is my favorite. I still think Talladega Nights is hilarious, but I like the cast in this with people like Woody Harrelson's in this, Andre Benjamin, Mara Tierney from Liar Liar, News Radio, Will Arnett, David Koechner, just all around a damn funny film. And if you like Will Ferrell, definitely check this out. And this Blu-ray's great too. You got some good features. You get a music video of Love Me Sexy, Flint Tropics Hot Talk with Dick Pepperfield. And you get the R-rated and the unrated version of this. I'll check out the unrated version, see how it is. Deleted alternate scenes, improv, Love Me Sexy, the story behind the one-hit wonder, recreating the American Basketball Association, 4 Days in Flint, the man behind Semi-Pro, and web-enhanced features. Definitely something you ought to pick up if you are one of the few people who like the film. But those are the Blu-rays that I got. And if you guys have seen any of those Blu-rays, definitely let me know. And I will be right back, because when we come back, we're going to take a look at the DVDs that I got. And boy, do I have a lot to show. But continuing on with the update right now, the next one is for a film that I've never seen before. And I'm going to get a lot of sour faces like, what? How can you not see that film? How have you never seen it? This, and that. That movie's a classic. I know. I haven't. It wasn't until I heard about it through Cool Duder, who was giving his favorite sequels, and he brought up City Slickers 2, which I thought was as funny as the first. Which, well, he said was as funny as the first. And so I was like, I haven't seen the first one. I might want to check it out. That's one I might add to my list and everything. So I figured, you know what? They have a new edition out. It's the collector's edition. So I went and got that. This is the collector's edition by 20th Century Fox. Yes, I have never seen this film. From what I know of it, from what I've heard, one of the things that actually made me want to check this out was actually it's directed by Ron Underwood, the same guy who directed Tremors, a film that I absolutely love. Haven't seen the sequel, might pick that up later, but this is the first one. I know Billy Crystal stars in this, and he's an executive producer. It's basically about these two guys, played by Billy Crystal and Daniel Stern, who are basically bored with their life in New York, so they decide they're going to go out to the West to basically get away from the life and take a little vacation, and then insanity ensues with them in the West as they're herding cattle. And it looks funny. I gotta say, it does look funny. I'm glad I have the DVD of it so I can see the features, and it's very good that films like these are getting collector's edition DVDs and Blu-rays, because I think it introduced a new generation to people who have never seen any of these films. And this is one of the films that I've never seen, so it's great to have it finally on DVD. So, yeah, City Slickers, it looks funny. As I said, you got Billy Crystal from Monsters, Inc. and When Harry Met Sally. Daniel Stern from Home Alone and Bushwhacked. He was also in Little Monsters. Bruno Kirby's in this. Patricia Wedig, Helen Slater, Jack Palance from Tim Burton's Batman, may he rest in peace. So, yeah, this looks funny. I gotta say, this looks funny from what I've seen of the trailer. And being this is a special edition, you're gonna get your features, which include audio commentary from director Ron Underwood and stars Billy Crystal and Daniel Stern. featurettes back in the saddle, City Slickers Revisited, bringing in the script writing, City Slickers, A Star is Born, an ode to the Norman and the real City Slickers, deleted scenes, and a trailer. So yeah, that is City Slickers right there. Gonna give that a watch, and I'll give my thoughts on it. It'll be great having a first time to sit down to it. This one I got because I wanted to upgrade from my VHS copies of them. Even though I love the VHS copies, I'm still going to keep them. I wanted this particular edition because I love these films, and this edition is kick-ass. I like the design of the box, even though here, because I got it used, a little bit crumpled. But yeah, this is a series I love. I know my friend Kyle does not like this film, like these films, did great jobs with the reviews. I can respect his opinion. But I've loved these since I was a kid. I've always watched them every St. Patrick's Day, and they're just great fun. Hell, even Entertainment Weekly agrees with me. Bloody, broad, and comically brutal. So, yeah. But for those wondering, it is the Leprechaun Pot of Gore collection. So, yeah. There's that. There's spine, the back. Very cool design case. Find the end of the rainbow and you'll be sorry. This evil leprechaun creates deadly mischief from the minute he is sprung. Follow him through time and space as he gives people what they deserve and then some. And be careful what you wish for. He just might grant it. But yeah, what you're getting in this DVD is this fold-out box. Starting off, you get... Let me just put this like this right there. What you get is... the first one, Leprechaun from 1993. No features on any of these DVDs, sadly, being they're from Trimark. But the first one, Leprechaun, directed by and written by Mark Jones, who would go on to direct Rumpelstiltskin. He also recently did a film called Triloquist, which I haven't seen. It's basically about a killer leprechaun who goes around and kills people because somebody stole his gold and he wants the gold and everything. And in all these movies, the leprechaun is played by Warwick Davis. But yeah, I adore this film. I've adored it ever since I was young. I love Warwick Davis as this character. It has some great kills in it. They're very comical, but they fit the tone of this movie and its world and everything. And it's very cartoony. It is very cartoony, but I think it works for the idea of a killer leprechaun rather than just it being all out serious. And it works for this world. And just Warwick Davis, you could tell, is having a ball. And apparently he didn't like the film at first, which is surprising. But then he saw the love that this movie got, and he was like, you know what, maybe it is a fun movie. But yeah, I adore this film, and I'll give a review on it another time. I know I know my friend Kyle's gonna be like, how can you like that? I know it's his opinion if he doesn't like that, but really, he might be like, really, you like those movies? Yeah, I do. But again, if he doesn't like it, that's fine. But next up is the sequel, Leprechaun 2, and I know he says this is the worst one. Surprisingly, this is actually written by Turi Meyer and Al Septine. And for those who don't know, those are the two guys. They would go on to write. They would go on to direct Sleep Stalker with Jay Underwood. I actually like that film. But the shit that they did that really made me turn my back from them. Chairman of the Board with Carrot Top, and they also did Candyman 3. With Donna in her underwear. Donna D'Errico, I should say. That's the one thing I remember from that film. I have to be honest, I think this is the best thing they've been a part of. I think this is my favorite Leprechaun film. I think Warwick is at his grisliest in this one. I like the bride angle they went with in this one. I definitely agree with this. Better than the first, right there, by LA Times. I don't agree with this, though. He's meaner than Freddy. I don't know anybody can say that because Freddy is number one, but yeah, I like this one. I think it's directed well by Rodman Flender, who would go on to direct Idle Hands. I think this one has the best Leprechaun shenanigans. So yeah, I'll give my thoughts on this one too. All these I'll give my thoughts on, for those wondering. I'm not gonna just leave one to the side and everything, but hold on, let's close that case. That's Leprechaun 2. And next up, of course, Leprechaun 3, directed by Brian Trenchard Smith, the same guy who did Night of the Demons 2. This time he's in Vegas. And this one I like. I remember liking. Might give this a rewatch again and see how it is. Up to 1, 2, and 3, these are the ones that I've only owned because I used to have the DVDs until I got the VHS, but they got scratched up, so I put those to the side. So I threw those out and got them on VHS. But that never have I owned these next two. I don't have. It doesn't have Back to the Hood. I gotta get that one on its own. But this one, Leprechaun 4 in Space, I've seen bits and pieces of. It's cheesy, dumb. And I don't know why they had to do the space angle with Leprechaun. I think it would have been better had they just kept it in town or wherever. But it looks alright. It doesn't look like the best or anything. I definitely think the first 3 are where they're at for me with this series. And then last but not least, Leprechaun in the Hood. Evil's in the house. He's back and meaner than ever, where he's in the hood and got Ice-T in there. This one has some features, just some trailers and a few production notes, but this one I'll give a watch and see how it is. I remember they're having some laughs in it, even though some of the jokes don't always land with me. But that's the Leprechaun films. Love them, hate them. You'll think whatever, but here's one that was on sale, and this one is very expensive and hard to find. Well, not hard to find. It just has, you have to really find it deep and everything, because this DVD company is out of print. It's actually another Apex film, Breeders. I've never heard of this one. It seems like a cool monster movie. Basically, it's like these people in this college town, they get attacked and killed. I like that. That cover, though, looks cool and everything. Sadly, no features and everything. Written directed by Paul Matthews. Never heard of that guy, but I really want to get Bleeders, another film that they did with Rutger Hauer. That looks like an insane movie. That's one I might try to find in the future. But this one is Breeders. Looks like a fun one. This is a really dumb one right here, but I figured I might give it a watch, see how it is with Dean Cain. It's Dragon Fighter. Basically, he's trying to take down this dragon monster. And yeah, it's the Sci-Fi Channel movie. It's the UFO company, the same one that did that piece of shit Python, which I do not like. It's inferior to Anaconda. And you could definitely see that it's the same people. Horrible CGI there, but yeah, but you know what? Is Dean Cain in it? It could be fun. So I figured, you know what? Why not give it a watch? Hell, even the opening, it has like this night's time, like this knight in shining armor time. It looks like a set. That's how bad it is, but definitely great to have for the collection. And the next one I got, this is one that was recommended to me by a friend of mine. Oh god, it fell out of there. What the hell? But that is Layer Cake. Was recommended to this by a friend of mine. And it looks pretty cool. Basically, it's Daniel Craig who basically has to basically find this money and everything. It looks pretty cool. Daniel Craig and everything, and Colin Meaney, Jamie Foreman, Sienna Miller's in this, Michael Gambon's in it. Got a good cast in there. So yeah, I don't know much about it, but I'll definitely give it a watch because it looks like a cool movie. But that's Layer Cake. Definitely looks like fun. In terms of features, you get deleted scenes, 2 alternate endings, director and writer commentary, Q&A with director and Daniel Craig, behind the scenes featurette, and more. That's what you get right there. Here's another one that I've reviewed. Back in April, around the time I reviewed Drill Bit Taylor, and that is Doomsday. I like this movie. I do. And even with the unrated cut, it adds a lot to it. If you guys want to know more of my thoughts about it, definitely check out my review. But this is a film by Neil Marshall, same guy who did The Descent, which I like. He also did, what's that other film he did? Dog Soldiers, which I've already reviewed. It's a fun, dumb is the wrong word. It's a fun post-apocalyptic film. I got it from Best Buy. It was great too. I'm gonna get that sticker off and everything. the same time, I don't want to damage the slip. Yeah, there we go. I thought that was going to be harder to get off, but no, definitely. But yeah, for what this was cost, definitely great to have. I really thought this was a fun film, very bloody. If you guys want more of my thoughts on this movie, definitely check out my review of it. And these are the last couple films that I've already reviewed. One of them I reviewed a long time ago. This one I reviewed recently, but I had to get the DVD of it because I loved this movie. Harold and Kumar Escape from Guantanamo Bay. This is the unrated 2-disc special edition. I fucking loved this movie. I think this is... while not as... I don't think it's as funny as the first. I think it's funny in its own way. It was great to see these two back together. I like the idea that they went to a new area and they didn't just do White Castle all over again. I like the feel of this one in Guantanamo Bay. Yeah, it has that juvenile humor than the first one, but it still is fun in its own way. It's still... I don't know why that sticker thing's there. I don't know what that is for, but it still is fun in its own way. I like the feel of it. And I like that troll dude right there in the house. We gotta give him a chocolate bar like Sloth from Goonies. It's just a funny film. So, yeah, I really enjoyed this one. If you guys have not seen it, check it out. You'll have a really great time with it. I really, really enjoyed this film, and I think you will too. If you guys like the first one, definitely check it out. Really can't wait to see a third one sometime. And this is the last one that I've reviewed already. I've actually reviewed this a couple years ago, and I really, really enjoyed this film. I think this is one of Spielberg's best films. Definitely one of his more underrated ones. Well, not underrated. Underrated is not really a word that I'd use, but I don't see this one talked about as much as some of his other films. But I think this is a fun film. It goes back to the Spielberg that I love, and that is Minority Report. Basically, he's like this guy. He's part of this group that hunts other people, and they bring him in without having to do the amendment rights and everything, and he gets framed for murder. It's a fun film. It's definitely a lot of fun. Had a great time seeing this when it came out. Great special effects that still look great. I don't like doing the whole dated thing, but it's amazing how great the special effects are. For their time, they look amazing. And even watching it now, I'm like, wow, this looks great still. Even though I don't like doing the whole it's dated thing. It should be judged at the time. But even now, I still love the effects. For what they were able to do in 2002, it still looks amazing. It's finally... I've been looking to get this on DVD for the longest time, too. And just finally got it now. You get archives and feature and commentary and storyboard sequences and the making of. Great to have this on DVD finally. So yeah, that's what I got so far, and I have 7 left, counting a 2-pack on one of them. I will be right back. I just got to do something. We will finish up. Alright, so continuing on with the last few DVDs that I got. Next one that I got, this is one that looks very interesting. It looks a little crazy, but I was watching, what's-his-face, Cool Duder, mentioned this in a video, so I figured why not pick it up. It's The Cook. It's a horror film about this guy who basically is in the sorority house killing the girls and starts feeding them stuff. This is the unrated version. I remember Cool Duder saying this has a lot of nudity in it, so you know what? I'll give it a shot, see how it is. Could be crazy, could be bloody, but all around could have some fun in it. But that is The Cook. In terms of features, you just get an audio commentary with the editor and the actors, along with the behind the scenes and audition footage for the main villain. So yeah, that's The Cook. I'll check it out and tell you how it is. Next one I got is actually a 2-disc edition of a film that was actually recommended to me by a friend of mine. I really, really wanted to check this film out. I missed it when it was out, but now I finally got it, and that is Vantage Point. This is a film with Dennis Quaid. I don't know much about it. Basically, it's like a political thriller, and basically Basically, he has to go through this assassination thing, figure out what's going on. Looks interesting. Very good cast of like Dennis Quaid, Matthew Fox, Forrest Whitaker, Sigourney Weaver, and even William Hurt is in this too. Dennis Quaid from Jaws 3D. He was also in Dragonheart, among many others. Matthew Fox, Forrest Whitaker's in this too from Species and Blown Away. He was also in Street Kings. Sigourney Weaver's in this from Alien, and even William Hurt from Lost in Space. Looks like a very cool film. I'll definitely give this a watch sometime. Terms of feature, you get yourself your digital copy, a surveillance tape, outtakes, an inside perspective, interviews with the cast and crew, plotting an assassination, coordinating chaos, stunt featurette, and commentary with the director, Pete Travis. Very cool to have that. And the next one I got, this is one that's going to annoy my friend because he absolutely hates this film. And you know what? This film, it's hilarious. It's definitely, to me, I think, one of John Leguizamo at his finest. One of his best, I should say, along with Spawn and the Super Mario Brothers movie, which aren't that bad. And that is The Pest. Yeah, I like this film. I've always liked it ever since I was young. But basically, I've been wanting to watch this again. I never found it. But basically, he's like this guy who gets in the view of this crazed dude who basically is like, if you survive my hunt, I'll give you money. And basically, he's on the hunt now. It's like a little bit like a comedy version of Hard Target. Hard Target's definitely better than this, but this is still funny. As I said, you got John Leguizamo. You have Jeffrey, I like him, Young Jones in this. Fuck that guy for what he did to those kids. I like him as an actor, but fuck what he did to those kids and everything. I mean, I'll still watch his films. I just think he's a piece of shit in real life, considering what he did to those kids. But yeah, that's The Pest. In terms of features, yeah, this is actually features. It surprised me. You got a making of featurette, talent files, bonus previews, and a commentary. So yeah, there's some involved in this. So yeah. This is one that I got. I've heard many good things about this film. It looks funny. I'll definitely give it a watch. Kentucky Fried Movie. Found this on DVD for a very good price. It's a parody film a little bit, but it looks like a fun movie. I'll definitely give this a watch and see how it is. I don't know much about it, but I'll give it a watch and see how it is. Basically, for features, this one has like a commentary, 2 theatrical trailer, behind the scenes, and on-set home movies, and talent bios, and that's pretty much it. And this next one I got, this is one that I picked up because this is another one that was recommended to me. I tried to find the first one, but I never got around to it. Definitely not going to watch this till I have the first one, FX2, with Brian Brown and Brian Dennehy. Brian Dennehy from Tommy Boy and Brian Brown. There's been a few other films. Kevin J. O'Connor's in this too. Looks like a fun film. I definitely have got to watch the original first before I watch this one. Not really much for features. Don't really know much about it. But I'll give this a watch and see how it is. And the last thing is a 2-pack of Down Periscope and Pushing 10. Down Periscope with Kelsey Grammer, Rob Schneider, Lauren Hawley, Bruce Dern, Rip Torn's also in this. This is the reason I bought it. Pushing 10 is another thing I got. Don't really know much about these. Well, I know much about Down Periscope, but it could be fun. I'll definitely give it a watch and see how it is. It could be a fun ride. I like these actors. I like the idea. Basically, it's like Kelsey Grammer commanding the submarine and everything, and there's all this crazy stuff going on. Lauren Hawley's in this as one of the people. What's his face? Rob Schneider's in it. Just all around could be fun. Pushing 10 is another one. Plan to check out. But yeah, that is the update. I know it was a long one. I promised you guys I know that wouldn't be a normal thing, but I just got so much this summer that I had to show it and everything. I didn't want to fill up the closet and everything. But if you guys have seen any of these films, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on them. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time for the next review. Next time I'm going to do a review on Zohan. If you guys have seen any of these films, again, let me know in the comments below if I may like them or you like them. And I'll get around to watching them sometime. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time on the wonderful world of YouTube. Bye.